We are at the Monroe County Fairgrounds for the 8th race of Season 2 of the SCRL Grand National Series. The number 6 of Nick Kennedy will be leading us to the green flag. So beside him is the 3 of Chris Henry. Rest of the starting lineup for today's race. Myron Fielder, who is starting in the 27th spot, has a 118-point lead over Roger James. Roger James is starting in the 9th position. This is the first official time we are racing here at the Monroe County Fairgrounds. We used this track earlier in the season to use it as a replacement track, but this is the first time we are ever racing officially at this legendary half-mile dirt track. Of course, 20 laps is the distance for today's race. 200 points, once again, are up for grabs here at Monroe. We have had a different winner each and every race this season. We've had some races that have not been very entertaining, which that's usually expected for 1950 tracks. You can only do so much. Brian Fox, who won in the last round at Dayton Speedway, will be starting in the 17th spot. He'll be looking to become the first driver to win in back-to-back races, but he has a long way to go if he's going to do that. As we finish counting down the start of race number 8. And now, for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines!
The field is rolling off to begin our lone pace lap of today's race. Problem? Nope. I thought we was having a problem with the 65, but apparently not. "20 laps around the half-mile dirt track in Monroe County. Reach up and pull the belts tight one more time. Nick Kennedy in the fabulous Hudson Hornet leads us to green. And you see Sebastian Torres already making it 3 wide into turn number 1. The defending champion easily takes the lead over Nick Kennedy, who almost gets spun out by the 20 car of Caitlin Coney. But off turn number 4, it'll be Sebastian Torres leading lap number 1. I mentioned before, Sebastian Torres, a former and defending champion of the Cup Series. He has never actually won a Cup Series race. So he won the inaugural championship by virtue of having no wins, but by winning on consistency. Now you see the 43 car, Kristen Russell moving his way up inside the top 4. As you see this big group of cars, including our second in points, Roger James. Roger James just trying to have a good run as we get into the final stretch of this season. Of course, all these drivers, they want to remain within points range because at Darlington we will have up to 1,000 points up for grabs. So this championship is far from over, but you could lose some ground. Back for the race lead. Here comes the number 3 of Chris Henry trying to close in our defending champion. Battle for 4th position. Here comes Caitlin Coney taking it over as Chris Henry continues to close in on Sebastian Torres as we complete lap number 4. Seems currently trailing the field. Looks like it's the number 2 of Tyler Mills for the 2nd race in a row as of right now. Now you see Chris Henry right on that back bumper. How aggressive does he get? Whoa, he goes a little bit wide. That's a rookie mistake right there. And Sebastian Torres is just going to slowly pull away. And you see a battle for 3rd, not much of a battle, as Nick Kennedy continues to drop spots. Kennedy has won a pole, but he just cannot seal the deal when it comes to race time. Chris Henry's still right on the back bumper. Sebastian Torres, he closed back in. Sebastian, he's leaving the bottom open, but Chris Henry standing right on his back bumper. Off turn number 4. 14 laps to go. Chris trying to get around into the defending champion. Looks like it's a 2-car race as the number 20, Caitlin Coney, is trying to close in on these leaders. Battle for the lead. Here comes Chris Henry. Sebastian Torres left the bottom open. Sebastian officially led that lap, but Chris Henry will have the preferred line as we go into turn number 1. Down the back stretch, Chris Henry will complete the pass. And it looks like we will have our first lead change here at Monroe County. Sebastian's fighting hard on the outside, though. He wants to reclaim that lead, but it'll be Chris Henry leading that lap. So we have a brand new race leader. Oh, the 91 is going a little bit slow, AJ Jones. But he does not have a problem for whatever reason. And you see our points leader, Myron Fielder, running in the 27th position. Not a good run for our points leader as we have 11 laps to go. Sebastian Torres trying to close back in on Chris Henry. He's trying. We saw how tricky it was for Chris Henry to pass Sebastian Torres. Sebastian goes way wide in turn 4. Almost outside the groove as we are officially halfway. 10 laps down, 10 laps to go. These drivers battle to see who will get their first ever win and who will win the first ever race here at Monroe County. You know, Sebastian wants to get that first ever Cup Series win. He wants to join the exclusive club of drivers who have won in all 3 of the major series. Of course, that being Cup, Busch, and Truck. Battle for position. As you see, Bruce Webster trying to go around the 15 of Joe Jefferson. Joe, of course, won earlier in the season at Charlotte, and guess where we are heading next? You got it, Charlotte. So Joe Jefferson has a unique chance of sweeping a season's race, which no one has ever done here in the Cup Series. As we will have 8 laps to go. The lead is almost a full second now. Yep, it is a second now. Over Chris Henry to Sebastian Torres. You see Roger James is currently in the 17th position. And Nick Kennedy has fallen to 10th place. Which has not been the season that Nick Kennedy wants. He has a pole and whatnot, but just can't get that win. And that fabulous Hudson Hornet. As Chris Henry's lead is now 1.3 in that number 3 entry. You see Caitlin Coney gets a big slide in turn number 3. He's going to lose ground, and here comes the number 9, Bruce Webster. Bruce trying to get a 3rd place finish for that number 9 Swan Motor Company entry. I believe that's an Oldsmobile. This time by, we will have 5 laps to go for Chris Henry. Looks like the way things are going, we will have another caution-free race here this season, but at least this time we had a lead change. As Chris Henry, lead is now 1.7 over the defending champion, Sebastian Torres. Back for position, here goes the 15 of Joe Jefferson. He's going to make up 2 spots in 1 lap as he passed the 20 of Caitlin Coney and the 9 of Bruce Webster. So move Joe Jefferson up into third place. And by virtue of finishing third, Joe Jefferson will gain 160 points. Where they're running that right now, Sebastian Torres will gain 180. And Chris Henry, he will gain 200 points with the win, if he can hold on, for another 3 laps. There you see Nick Kennedy is about to lose another position. This one to Bob Joseph. And he does. No challenge for our race leader, Chris Henry. He will have a lap and a half to go. As his lead is now up to 2.2 seconds. No challenge from behind. Sebastian Torres trying to defend against Joe Jefferson, trying to prevent him from getting a second place. As off the final turn, white flag, 1 lap to go for Chris Henry. What a way to make a name for himself. In his 8th career start, Chris Henry starts up front. He passes the defending champion, Sebastian Torres, and he pulls away by over 2 seconds. And he's going to score his first career win in his 8th career start off the final turn. Chris Henry wins the inaugural race here at Monroe and scores his first career SCRL sanctioned win. Here are your race results. Chris Henry hangs on for his first career win. 2nd, Sebastian Torres. 3rd, Joe Jefferson. 4th, Chase Miller. 5th, Johnson McClellan. 6th, Bruce Webster. 7th, Mark Sasachi. 8th, Omar Gutierrez. 9th, Caitlin Coney. And 10th was Brian Fox. Rest of your race results. Our points leader, Byron Fielder, finishes all the way back in the 26th position. We had all 30 drivers finish the race on the lap. No one was out. That is it for Monroe County. We'll take you to victory lane for the first time in his career with the number 3 of Chris Henry. Here are the point standings after the 8th race of the season at Monroe County. Byron Fielder is still our points leader, but his lead has shrunk. It is now down to 48 over Joe Jefferson. 3rd is Sebastian Torres, our defending champion, 93 points behind. 4th is Roger James, who lost 2 spots, 117 points behind. And 5th is Jeremy Eichel, 160 points behind. Rest of the point standings on the screen. We'll next see you for round number 9 at the Charlotte Speedway. And until then, keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the track.